All right. Good day, everyone, and welcome to WebX tutorial. We just created this channel of recent, and we're going to be sharing with you some cool sections to entice your customers or to entice your clients in elevating their website to a new level. Because this new age right now, using a little of animations and websites can entice your customers, entice your clients, and make them, feel a little bit feel more appreciative about your work. So today we're going to be working on a shoe brand hero section. So we just created this channel new, and we're going to be sharing with you all of these layouts or how to style layouts using Elementor page builder. So if you're just coming to our channel right now, we appreciate you if you can just give us a follow, if you can just subscribe to our channel and like this video. So thank you. We're going to be diving up straight into it, and we're going to make this as snappy as we can. So first of all, this is the hero section we're going to be working on. It's a shoe brand hero section housing these few elements inside of it, and yes, it has this little animation when you reload the page, it loads, and all of these elements fall in to make up the hero section. So and also the slide right here. We're going to be showing you how to do this. Please be mindful. This section is created with both free Elementor and Pro Elementor. So especially this slide itself, this slide alone, it's uh, it's a Pro widget in Elementor. So if you don't have the Pro, you can still manage to build this, but some features will be limited in it. So let's dive into it. So first of all, we're going to head over to Canva. So I'm going to explain to you how we're going to be placing out this layer just to form out these layers, how we're going to be placing this div or containers to form out this layer. First of all, we're going to start with the header. So I'm going to be selecting the red marker. We're going to be selecting the red marker. First of all, what you're going to do right here is we're creating this header from scratch actually. So first thing first, we're going to add our header. We're going to add our section, which is this. This should be our section. And then we're going to have a div inside of it. The first div will be guiding the logo, which is this div right here. And then the second div will be guiding the menu and also the cart and the search button. So this will be a different div on its own. This right here will be a different div on its own. And this will be a different div on its own. So this div right here will be guiding this menu and these icons. And this menu and the icon inside this div will be stacked horizontally, which I'm going to be showing you practically in this video. So that's first. And for the hero section itself, we are having a section, and we are having the section, we are having a div right here. We're having a full div, and then we're having another div, which is housing our text and the background right here, just to make up that styling over there. And this right here is housing a div, housing these two images, these elements inside of it. And then we have a different div here, housing the image and also the slide, which the image inside of the slide. So there's a different div here. We'll be basically doing this through practicals. We're going to be practicalizing this in a few minutes, but I just wanted to get the layout. I guess this is a bit rough. So just bear with us because we are doing this for the first time and we're trying as much as we can so we can break down this hero section style. So this is all for that, and stay with us as we go into the next chapter of this tutorial, which is the main builder. So and once again, if you haven't subscribed, please do that while we go into the next chapter of this video, which is the practical tutorial. All right, let's go. All right, let's dive into the main building. So first of all, one thing you should understand in building a website is that uh, not everything is built inside of the builder. So some things like this image, arranging this image right here, this way it is, or maybe this background here, this gradient background, it's not directly made inside of the builder. But some stuff like this text right here, because this is a text which I just added the background on top and then added it together with this other heading text right here. So some stuff like that are built inside of this builder. But things like this image right here, this image, or maybe this other image, no, this one in particular. this image right here, you hear my mouse is being hovered on. So it's not basically built inside of the builder. You can actually build it inside of the builder, but it takes a lot more time, and making this responsive would be a little bit of a stress. So to accomplish that, we do that in Photoshop, and all of these images are already imported inside of this builder. So I've already done the work and it's imported inside of this builder. So if you want to achieve something like this too, you can also uh, take a little break to learn about using Photoshop or maybe Canva or Illustrator. One of these builders will really help you a lot in boosting your creativity when it comes to website building. So first of all, we're going to head over to our dashboard. This is our WordPress dashboard, and first thing we're going to do is install the necessary plugins. I have installed mine. Let me show you some plugins which it's necessary. I don't know why they're asking me to verify, but let's do the verification. They say bicycles. Yeah, that's for bicycles. All right. So these are some plugins which will be necessary for you to install. You see plugins like Elementor, Elementor Pro. That's all we are using for this project. And there are plugins like mouse wheel smooth scroll. This plugin in particular, this website is already a functioning website, so all of these other plugins like WooCommerce has its own meaning or has its own work in this project. But for this tutorial, we're going to be using just these three plugins which I mentioned. For this mouse wheel smooth scroll, it helps your website to just load smoothly in your website. It just helps your it helps your elements or why users are scrolling through your website. It helps it scroll smoothly. Uh, so that's just for that. And if you want to learn more about what kind of plugin and best plugins to use, I will be linking Kata Studios YouTube channel in this video, so you can go there and watch more and understand more about uh, plugins and best plugin or necessary plugins needed for your website. He also teach about extension. He teaches about everything concerning our website. So you should go there and also fill up your brain with some updated and well organized tutorials to help you boost your web design skills. So shout out to Mr. Carter too. He's one of the reasons why I'm here today. He's the main reason why I'm here today. With the skills I have today, he's the main source where I got it from. So thank you so much, sir, and God bless you for me. So head over to the tutorial. So first of all, we're going to be starting with building of the header, this header right here. So these stuffs are SVG icons. So let's just go straight into it. Building a header is very simple. You go over to your template. Over on template, you go over to template builder. Network is being a bit slow, but we are here. So right here, we have other builds, header and footers, but we are not working with these ones we built. We want to build our own from scratch again, so you understand and see how this works. So first, we're going to add a new header. We're going to click on header. So all of this place, you can add a blog post, you can add a lot of things, but that is for a later tutorial for another time. But first of all, let's go back to our header. This tutorial might take a little bit of time because this is a customly made hero section. So if you're staying through it, it will help you a lot in getting used to your layout styling, and a lot more. So we are not using any of the pre-made templates right here. We're going to be creating from scratch. So we're going to cancel these and start from scratch to build this layout. For this, our structure panel to help us navigate through the divs in this website. So first of all, we're going to be adding a new container. We're going to select this direction column, this one right here in particular. So what we're going to be doing here is very simple. First of all, we've saved the colors we're going to be using, the gradient colors, because as you can see, a gradient color is used in this website. So first, we're going to go over to style, gradient, and then we're going to add the necessary colors. So I've saved the color. These are my global colors. You can copy the color code. This is the color code ash 2A37 for the first one. I've already saved them. Maybe later we'll talk more about global color, how to set a global color. But for now, This is just the color code for it. Now hovering on it, you can also see the color code just in case you want to practice along. So the next one is the next column, which is the next color, which is the darker one. This is pure black. So it's kind of a base gradient for that color. So once the color is set, try to set the we try to set the angle degree of the gradient. So 150 degree is okay for me, and we'll go over to the next necessary thing to do. So first of all, we're taking too much time already. So we're gonna be adding this a div. We're gonna be adding a div and duplicating it. All right. So when we add the two div and duplicate it, we have to click on the section guiding those two div and go over to layout and make it row horizontal. So it adds these two elements horizontally. And next thing we have to do, we're going to click on this div, add an image to it. So we'll click on this plus sign, which is add element, and then we're going to add an image. So this image is going to be this big, but don't bother yourself too much about it. Click on the image, go over to style, increase the width to 100, increase the mask width to 100. So that's just the two ball thing you're going to increase to 100. So we go over to advanced layout. This is width. We're going to hover or click on this drop down and go over to custom, put it set it at pixels, so anything you do here can be applied in the front end. I just love using pixels because it kind of gives me more control over this. So this is how you're going to make it this small, and then we go over to adding the logo. This was just a random logo which I created, not for not big of a day, but this is the logo right here. Uh, like I said before, I've already uploaded all of these files, which is very easy to upload. If you just create the file on your desktop, you just drag it and drop here. Once you click select, it's going to be uploaded inside of your builder. So it's that simple. So right here, the logo is looking too small. So we're going to go back to advanced and then increase the logo a bit more. So that is done. We are going to click on the other div, and then we're going to add a menu. So I'm going to be using this menu. This is a pro widget. This menu right here, it's a pro widget. So there are other free menu right there, but it offers the same features. Just that the pro widget offers more features like a drop down a drop down feature of this menu, which you don't really need right now. So if you really need it, you can go for the pro version of Elementor. So that's just there. So we're going to click on the menu we added, and then we're going to go over to style. First of all, we're going to be changing the color, so we're going to see what we are doing. We change the color to white, and then we're going to change the text to Poppins. Poppins is a Google font, which is basically okay to use for any brand. Used for elegant brand. I would say is used for elegant brand. Some websites you want to look just very simple but elegant. I don't know if you understand me. So we increase the text to maybe 15, and then we're going to change the content inside of it. So go back to content. The first item one, we're going to change it to men. Sorry for this, I'm having a little bit of illness. The second one, we're going to change it to women. And the last one, we're going to change it to unisex. This menu, we're not going to make it functional right now because it's not necessary. But making it functional is very easy. And we're going to be doing that later in our next tutorial. So we're going to go over to the main div guide and everything. And we're going to make it middle align so everything will come down to its normal position. So right here, all right, all right. So we've added the menu widget right here. So next thing we have to do, we have to click on the div on the container guiding this menu, and then add a div inside of it. I'm calling it div because I'm very used to Oxygen Builder. So if you've added your container inside of it, and then you click on the main container right here, and then you make it horizontal. So right now, this container is going over to this other part, the right part. So we add two icon inside of it. We add an icon, we duplicate it. You see, it's becoming very big, and this other menu item is squinching or like breaking. We then go over to the full width, and then we reduce the width of the container. Once we've reduced the width of the container, we click on this other container. We start with horizontal also. So right now, what we have to do is very simple. We have to add those icons. So I've already uploaded the icons. Make sure if you're adding and like a custom icon, which doesn't come with Elementor, you have to download the SVG. So I've already downloaded my SVG icons. I'll go right here. I will go over to this place. First icon I'm to upload is the search icon, which is this particular one right here. I will impute it, change the color so it's visible so you can see it. It's big, don't worry, we'll make adjustments to that later. We'll go over to SVG also, and then we'll change the cart icon to this bag. And also we change the color. We have to first edit one before duplicating it, but it's still no problem. So right here, we have to stack it middle align and then center align. So right here, we have to stack this to the end. And this div, we'll stack this div also to the end. And then we'll give it a space of 30. Or should we give it, let's give it 40 or 35. We'll give it 35. And then let's make adjustments to those icons. We'll go over it, we adjust the size of the icons. 30. And then we'll make this one to 30 pieces. You see, it's reducing and it's becoming more nice, especially when you look at it. So right here, everything is working very fine, and I think we're going somewhere from there. So we just reduce the icon a bit to maybe 20. Should we give it 25? So this is something you just walk around with till you come up with something nice. 25. And we reduce the width of the container the more. So this one can adjust to it. So we'll click on the main, I will make the position, the menu, we click on the menu and make the position to the end, which will make it stack to that edge. So we'll click on the div itself, and then we'll now control the div width. So the width, we want to give it, we are working with percentage. So we have to give it 90 or 85%. 85%, and then go over to advanced, and then the padding top, we'll give it 20 and 20. So this is working fine. We'll save it. So they will ask us to make to set our conditioning. We'll make the conditioning included entire site. So this error message that appeared there say Elementor recognize that you have set this location for other templates. Elementor, okay, I've already created a header for this particular location which I'm sending this header to. So I'm going to include singular or singular. No, I'm going to include a particular page, but I haven't created the page yet, so I'll just leave it as that. So it's gonna save. So it's gonna save. I'll go over to my WordPress builder, my WordPress dashboard. Go over to page, and then create a new page. So we're gonna call this shoe hero section practical page. So you can actually give yours any name of your choice, but I just want to give this a name that is like that we can relate very well with. So we publish. Once this page is published, we'll go over to our header bar and then set this same conditioning. We'll set the condition. Once you click on this, you can reset the conditioning, and then right here, since it's on page, we'll then set the code and mention the name of the page we want. So we name this page shoe hero section, shoe hero section. Look at it right here. It has populated. It's populated. So we just click on it, save, and that is done. We are done with the header. The header is very simple and sleek. So the next thing we have to do is to add those hover effects. So once we hover on it, we just play around. So playing around with this is just very simple. You go over to hover, you go over to orange color, see, orange color, and then we'll make it on hover. We want it to shrink, and I shrink inside. You see, it's working fine now. That's just how we want it to be. So right here we're missing something. Okay, we'll just give it a hash link. Right here you see link on the menu. You just give it a hash link. I'll give you a reason why. Right now, once you've given it a hash link, once you hover on it, it shows a hand. So once you hover on it right now, it shows a hand. So so the icons too, we are to give it a we have to give it a hash link so that it can be hovered on, and also change the color once it's hovered. So once it's hovered, we want it to shrink. So there's a lot of stylings right here that you can just play around with. Let's copy this orange color. Let's just set it as global color, orange. Set it as a global color, and then we'll go over to this place. On hover, we want the color to be orange, and we want it to shrink inside. This too, we want it to be orange and shrink, which we've setted. So on hover, it shrinks, and that is that. It's done for it. So we have to close this page, or we can just leave it open just in case we want to make any other adjustment. So next, we have to go over to the main page itself. So click Edit with Elementor. So we've arrived here. All right. So once we appear right here on our home page, the header is showing already because this is based on our display, based on the condition we give to it from the header itself. So right here, what you're going to be doing is very simple. So add a container. This container right here, we're going to make it 100 VH. So it's going to be down to the whole page. So we click on it, we move over to the background. We'll make the background a gradient, just as we made the header. We'll give it a light gradient on top and a dark gradient, a dark color beneath. So right here, we're going to give it a color like. So we're going to give it a degree of 150 degree. Just same degree we gave to the header, so it matches the header. It looks as if it's a slanted degree, or it's a slanted color that came down from the from the header down to the hero section. So when that is done, what you're going to do next is adding a div. This is where the main work begins. So add a div right here. We duplicate this particular div, and then we'll click on the particular section guiding all of this div, and we stack it horizontal. So these two div, once it's being imputed inside of this thing, inside of this section, each of them is holding 100 pieces, but the Elementor itself share them 50 pieces. But if you click on it, it's holding 100 pieces each, but it's 100 pieces of each, but in this other container, it's sharing them 50 by each. So right here, this container on the right, we're going to reduce the pieces because this is where we're going to be adding our background. We're going to reduce the pieces to like 30 or 25. We're going to remove the structure panel first. Right here, we're going to click on the main section guiding everything, and then we're going to give it a width of 100. So it covers the whole place. So we're going to remove the extra padding inside of it. So when that is done, we're going to first add the background to this div right here. We're going to add it as a background image. Like I said before, I've already created all of this. So this is the background image right here, which I created from Illustrator. So I exported it to Elementor page builder. So once we add the background, we're going to do other little settings, like the position should be center. Don't touch the attachments. The repeats should be no repeats. Display size should be on cover. And right here, we have our gradient just exactly how we created it on Illustrator. So next thing we have to do is to handle, click on the section itself and give a padding left, padding left of 80 at least, 80 so it matches this logo size right here. So next thing we have to do is to click on this section, which is bigger than this other one, and then we have to, oh no, let's complete the styling right here. So next thing we have to do right here is to add a text, a heading text. So you see, once you add the heading text, it's tagged vertically, it's tagged horizontally. So we have to first write what we want to be written on it, which is sneakers in capital letters, sneakers. And then right here, we give it a font, what font we want. I'm using Roboto. Roboto is a Google font, so I think it should be in your builder, so you don't have to import or export any font. Firstly, you have to increase the size of the font, so at least 140, and then we'll go over to advanced. You see, it's having an overlapping right here because of the sneakers, but don't mind that. We'll go over to advanced, we'll go over to transform, and you see where they say rotate. We'll click on rotate, and then we're going to rotate, so 90 degree at least. 90 degree would help it stack accordingly. So once it's being rotated, you click on the section itself and you go over to the layout and you make it vertical, center, middle, center, sure. So you click on the, since we are on the section, on the div guided everything, I'll click this and then give it a padding top. So it makes it come over to the middle part of this element. So once it's there, next thing we have to do is give it a padding bottom of at least 20 and then click on the text itself. The text is too big based on the font size we gave to it, so we'll just reduce it a bit. So I think it's looking a lot more better right now, and then we'll give it a color of white. So this is just how we achieved what we achieved there. So you just play around to make it match, so it has the same padding top and bottom. The numbers don't need to be accurate with each other, but it needs to match the same uh, padding. Click on the div guiding everything, and then you go back to your layout, collapse this, go back to your additional option, go to overflow and click on hidden. So that this, look, if it's on default, this is bringing out this overflow right here, which we don't want. We don't. I know it's not much, but we don't want it to show. It's a bad user experience. So we'll click on this and give it hidden, and it won't show anymore. So we are done with that. You can also play around, decreasing this test size, but I think I'm okay with that for now. Till we preview this on the front end, I'm okay with it for now. So we click on publish to save our work. So that is done, and then we go over to the main. I'll go over to what's next in the hero section, which is the heading test, the body test, and then the remaining of the images and the slider. So first of all, we give this a div or a container, and we duplicate this container. We're going to stack this container horizontally. So make it horizontal. We make this container right here smaller, because this is the one guiding the images. So make this 50 and allow this to be at 100 or maybe 150. So right here we have to add on the div by the left, we have to add another div inside of it, and then in this div we have to still add our heading test. We have to still add our body test. So this div right here, which is on top, we have to bring it down to the bottom. So it's a drag and drop view that you can actually do what you want with it. So we save. So once you save, we go over to the text. We change the color so you see what we are doing. So first of all, I've already copied the text, so I'll just paste it. It says favorite rocking. It's supposed to be this sneakers, but that this is created on its own, which I'm going to be showing to you in a few minutes. So first of all, we have to style this text. We have to go over to this place and make it uh, Roboto, which we use throughout this thing, which we use throughout this website design or the hero section design. We make it Roboto and then we increase the size. You see, once we increase the size, it's like it looks something like this. So I think it's okay for me, and I just have to remove the padding guiding all of this. And then what next to do? We have to duplicate this. Once we duplicate this, we change the text to this. We have to change the text to this. So once it's changed, we have to make other further styling. First of all, we make it start from the start, and then we'll give it a padding because this padding is where the background needs to display. We'll go over to the background. We'll give it a background color, and then we need a border too. So give the border solid, and then the border color orange, and then we'll reduce the opacity. So it will be seen. So we'll increase the border size. So the border size shouldn't be more than 2. And then we go over to style. Go over to style. Decrease the text, and then go over to border. We run the border radius. So this is the border radius. We run it to maybe 20, and we'll go over to the border. We're in the border, so we just have to increase the border color so it shows. So this is just how to do it, and then we've achieved what we wanted. We decrease the size also again. And then we just play around. Playing around, you then the border, increase the size a bit. And then the most important thing right here, once we are done doing this, we change this text to be transform. We want it to be uppercase throughout. So it's breaking out of each shell. We have to reduce the text a bit. So one thing you should know to do also is to start this center align and make everything at the middle. So it's better now. We increase the text also a bit. You just play around to get what you want. So this text, once we are done with the styling we want for it, for me, I want to increase the border a bit, the border radius. 15 is okay for me. And then I'll go over to layout. When you go over to layout, it sets this the positioning to absolute. Once it's set to absolute, you can then style this, you can then arrange this item anywhere you want it to be. For me, I want it to go down to the right, and then just use the absolute positioning and play around with this, how you want to achieve exactly what you are looking for. So I want it to be at that exact position. So we decrease the text size a bit. You see, the more you decrease it, the more it leaves the position you set it to be. So I decrease it to 18, and then I go over to the position, and then I make the position, arrange the position so it starts from where I want it to be again. So right here, everything is working fine with the hero section, with the heading test. We save, just in case you're using maybe a desktop. Remember to save always because this is Nigeria. Power might go off, and then you have to start from afresh to design. So Elementor actually have a assistant that help us save on a regular basis, but sometimes you don't just hope on that. So after that is done, we have to go over to the body test. First of all, I have to increase the color so we see what we're doing. Increase the color so we see what we're doing, and then we go over to the test. We include the test we want to add. I've already copied the test, so I just paste the test and then make little correction on my drama in my grammar I spoke. So Grammarly actually help us do a lot. So I will suggest or advise you install Grammarly to your PC. So the font I'm using for my body test is called Poppins. It's a simple, elegant font too, and that's just it. So we increase the body test to a particular way we want. I think 16 is fine, but 15 is still doing better. So right here, we are done with the body test. It's as simple as that. So we decrease the padding, or yeah, the gap to maybe 5 because this is the heading. It doesn't need to go far from each other. So the body test and the heading test is okay. Everything is working fine from there. So next thing we have to do is to save and then go down to the this other section. And then we have to do little styling here. First of all, we'll go over to the background and change the background color to this light color. And then the background border, we change it to solid, increase the border, give it a rounded border, and then we save. So we have to start adding items in this particular element which we just created. So this is a style in which you just like draft out and then know what you're doing before going into it. So first of all, though once you draft your stuff out and then you go into it, sometimes changes might occur along the line, which is very okay. Uh, and then what you do next is add the border, make the border reduce to maybe 20. 20 is cool. And then one thing we need to add is the counter. Let's add the counter. This is it right here. So the counter is just basically saying the amount of products which we've actually delivered. So some of these company has a large amount, some of them has a low amount. But this is a dummy project, so I have to just make it 730K. So 730, and then the index prefix should be K. Or no, not the index prefix, the number suffix. So at the ending, it should be K. Sorry about that. This number should be light. Okay, so you see what we are doing. So I don't want it to be light. I want it to be orange, just the same way we did it in the listing, the main project. So we go over to this place. We make it Roboto, and then we decrease the font weight to maybe 400. 400 is too small. 400 can actually work, but it's too small. Okay, 400 will work. The rest is being too big. So right here, these numbers, we have to remove these cool numbers. So it's be on its own. Next thing we have to add is the body test. Change the color. Actually copy the test which we are adding right here. So I just paste it in. So right here, you just click on it, go over to the body. Remember, we're using Poppins as our body test, which is very easy. You just click on it, and then that is done. We have to make this left align. So it's done, it left align. We click on the div guiding everything and then give it a padding. So it has a shape. Actually, we are working with, so it needs that shape. So right here, next thing we have to do is to add our image and then add our button. So click on our button. This is the button we are using right here. So the image, I've already imported the image which I want. I want us to use. This is right here. Make sure you optimize your images so your website can load fast. Look, this first image is up to 3 MB, but this is not the one we are using. This is the optimized one, which is 367. If you want to learn how to optimize the image, you comment below and I will make a tutorial about that. It's very easy. So click on it, and then this is the image it's added. Next thing we have to do is to style our button. So our button said purchase, which we're going to impute into it right now. Purchase, my grammar isn't right. All right, purchase, and then we have want to make it full width. That is done. Then we change the icon. Let's upload an SVG. We want it to have this, no, this add to cart icon. It's not working. So we need to import an icon from the icon library, carts. So we use this cart plus. So you know here, you go there to add your product to cart or to go there to shop. Right over here, we change the button text to pop-ins, increase the size to the extent that suits it. And then we change the icon style to change the border radius. We'll give it a particular percent of border radius. You can actually play with this button more. But for me, we've gotten the exact styling we want. But we want this button to be when we hover on it, we want it to show orange. So this is just where you control all of those styling. Orange color and then this white. So once you hover on it, it changes to orange color and this white. So it makes it more visually appealing. So we save and we'll go over to the last thing, which is adding this, adding the widget, which is the widget, it's called carousel. Carousel. Once you write carol, it should pop up. So this is a lot of carousel, image carousel, block carousel. All of this has its own function and the best way it comes out with the best style it brings to the table. So you just choose the one you want. You can play with all of it and see the one which works best for each website you're building. So we drag in this one because this is what we're going to be using. So right here we have it comes with three folder. So this div guiding this boat stuff. I want another div to be inside of it. I need another container inside of it, but we won't be using it right now. But I want it to just be there. So we click on the carousel itself, and then we go on to the styling. So we want to show slides on display. So once you click on slide, how many should it slide to? Want it to be just one. You see, it slides one, slides or scroll. All right, if you say slide or scroll, once you click slide, you slide to the third one, but want it to slide to the next one, which is one at a time, one at a time. So that's just it. And for this, we want just two slides. So we remove the first one, the third one that was in there, which we've done. And then first thing first, we need to add our image to this slide. So adding our image to this slide is very simple. The only thing we need to do is just to add the image. Once the image is added, we click on it, we'll go over to this place. I've already added the shoe, so we just click on the shoe we want to use, and then we impute it. So this is the shoe. It's no big deal. It's very easy to accomplish. We increase the max width, and then so other styling can take place. We can go over to this place and play around with the shoe size anyhow we want, but we want it to be full as of now. So next thing we have to do is to click on the carousel itself. We want to style the slide right now. So first of all, we go over to settings, autoplay. We don't want it to be an autoplay. So infinite scroll, yes. Transition, let's see. All right, the transition is okay. You can actually use it that way, but we want it to be a little bit slower. So we just decrease the size. So maybe 200. Okay, that is being fast. Increase it to maybe 3000. Just play around. All of this, okay, it's becoming okay a lot more visually appealing right now. So we go over to navigation. This right here, we have to we can control the position from here. You see that? All right, let me change the color so you'll be able to see what I'm doing. Navigation, we change the color of this navigation bar to orange color, which has changed. You can see it is changed to orange color. Next thing I want to do is to I want to change the icon. So right here we imported an SVG. So the SVG icon is there already. So I just have to impute it. So this is our slide and the icon which we used. So I just have to arrange the slide or the icon how I want it to be. For the one we did first, the icon is beneath. So this is what I'm doing right now. Taking the icon beneath where it should be. So you just play around with the icons, play around with it, see it suits your test. For me, this is okay. I just have to do what's next. Navigation. I have to increase the icon size. All right, once the icon size is increased, people can know, yes, this stuff is a slider which you can click on. We go over to the navigation again and then do little adjustments so it looks okay. And please, one thing, don't mind what I'm forgive me for this. One thing you need to be doing is as you are working, be checking your work on front end, how it looks on front end. Because sometimes these builders, especially when you're using laptop, you see what I'm talking about. So I'm talking about from front end, this stuff is not getting to the edge. But the remaining things are a little bit okay, except this. We need to make adjustments on this too. So let's start from somewhere. We have to give this padding top 40, padding bottom 40, padding right 30, padding left 30. So click on it again and see it's looking more better right now. Next thing we have to do is the main div guiding everything. We have to click on it, give it a padding top of 35. 35 is too small, 35 pixels is too small. I think 65 is okay. And padding bottom is not necessary. If you want to give this a padding bottom, no, the padding top is not even necessary because it makes this goes down. You remove it and then click on this div guiding this element itself. This is where we're going to do all our padding. So right here, we're going to give this 60, so give it 6. And then bottom, we give it 3, that's 30. 30 is being too small, we give it 6. Or remove it. Save. Since we are giving it padding and it's affecting this our image right here, this image in our background right here is not getting to the bottom part, it should be at the top. It should be covering both the top and the bottom. What we're going to do, we're going to remove the padding which we've removed, and then we're going to use this div itself to give it a mean height with pixels. We're going to increase it so it gets to the top and bottom. So once it's there, it's going to be giving an extra padding for this one, so everything works fine that way. Everybody gets their own share and in peace. So we close this and then reduce the padding a bit. 900 pieces. 900 pieces is okay for me. And then we close, we hover, we click on the div guiding everything. When you see, if we check from the front end, it's not aligning same with the header. With this logo right here, it's not aligning same, which we want it to align the same. So we have to increase this padding more. The padding left on the main div, on the main container. So 95, we check again. It's just remaining a little bit. So give it 100 just at once. And then we check. I think it's okay right now. It's working fine. We save. So we're actually done with everything. So this next thing is our over our pagination. So we click on it, go over to content, go over to navigation. This is the first one. We decrease it to maybe 470 and we check again. It's still far. Maybe 500. All right, it's out and it's okay. Next thing we have to do, we have to decrease the other one size to maybe 60. So it comes closer. 60 is working fine, but we need to decrease it more to 40. You don't have to mind what is showing in the builder itself. Just focus on what is showing on the front end because that's really the most important thing to your clients and customers. That's all they want, what is showing in the front end, not what is showing from your end. All right, I think this is okay for me right here. Everything is working fine. We save. And next thing we have to do, this div we added here. Why I added it here is very simple. I wanted to add an image to it. This image, we've already imported this design we made. So this is the design right here. We just to spice up the hero section. That's why it's here. We increase the width, increase the max width, and then go over to advanced and then custom. Increase the width to the level we want it to be, and then we'll make it middle align. Make it middle align. Right here, we have to add our tests. I think we should go with a body test. It's added it in the wrong place. We need it inside of this div. So we add our test right here. And then click on the div guide name and stack it horizontally. So right here, we need a little message, which we're going to paste. So the text which we wrote there is something just to entice customers. So we say a few steps on, and we go down and we say the way to stars, the way to stars. We say this is just what we wrote there, and then we styled it the way we want. So basically, what you should understand is that styling a section in Elementor is just more about using graphics and adding it up with the features Elementor provide just to come up with a better design you want. So this is the first design we are making, and I think it didn't go so smooth, but there's a first time for everything, and we'll be coming up with more content that is more visually appealing and more uh, beneficiary, something you can learn very well from very soon. So this is all we did for this design. It wasn't a big of a deal. So this is all of it, and so next thing we have to do is paste in this container we styled. Styling it is just same process, but maybe we'll discuss more on this in our next tutorial. But our time has gone so much already, which we can't just style all of this from afresh. But styling it happens to be same way and same style. So that's just it for this tutorial. And we'll say thanks for watching and see you on the next one.